the top, Riku reunites with King Mickey and Diz, who reveals himself to actually be Ansem the Wise. Ansem is using a machine to try and encode Kingdom Hearts into data, but Xemnas confronts him, and they trade bitter words. The machine then explodes, unable to handle Kingdom Hearts, sending Ansem the Wise to the realm of darkness while causing countless hearts Xemnas had collected into Kingdom Hearts to rain down on the world, creating a slew of Heartless. The explosion also cleanses Riku's heart and restores Riku to his original form, though he is still remorseful. After some encouragement, Riku traverses the rest of the castle alongside Sora, abandoning his cloak and blindfold. He and the others also encounter Maleficent and Pete, who decide to hold off the hordes of Heartless that are overtaking the castle, but only so that they will eventually take the castle for their own. Riku and the others then confront Xemnas, refusing his demand to gather more hearts. Xemnas then removes Sora from the area, fighting him one-on-one, with everyone else calling out to him. When Sora returns, they see that Xemnas has already reached Kingdom Hearts and disappears into it. A door, constructed by the will of the worlds, appears, and the three wielders of the Keyblade open it up and follow Xemnas. After a tough battle, Namine appears again, opening up a corridor of darkness that leads to Destiny Islands, as Riku can no longer use them since Ansem's darkness is no longer in his heart. However, Xemnas attacks, riding on a gigantic robotic dragon, and separates Sora and Riku from the others. After a series of battles, the two of them are drawn into nothingness by Xemnas and face off in a final, exhausting battle. Towards the end of the battle, Sora is left open and Riku takes a blow intended to finish off his friend, giving Sora the opportunity to beat Xemnas into submission, after which Riku and Sora fire a beam of light from Sora's Keyblade which finishes off the superior. After his defeat, Sora and Riku face an onslaught of Dusks ready to fulfill their master's final order to eliminate the Keyblade wielders, but Sora and Riku successfully destroy them and escape the realm, entering the Dark Meridian. Riku, severely exhausted and injured, asks Sora to sit with him on the shore. Having the time to finally talk, the two reconcile with each other. Riku then comes across a letter in a bottle, written by Kairi, and gives it to Sora, believing him to be the proper recipient. Sora then manages to open the door to light, which they walk through. Riku and Sora found themselves falling through the sky and into an ocean. Bewildered, they hear Kairi's voice calling out to them and are greeted by their friends from Disney Castle. While Sora shares a hug by Goofy and Donald, Riku happily reunites with Mickey. A data version of Riku is created by the digitization of Jiminy's journal and becomes a vessel for the memories contained in the journal. He appears as Riku does in Kingdom Hearts. Blank points. After reading Mickey's letter, Sora sits on the papu tree while holding it and staring off into the sunset. Riku walks up to him and asks if he has decided, and Sora says that he has. He later smiles at Sora's decision to venture out to find those connected to him. Riku accompanies Sora to the mysterious tower in response to a call from Yen Sid to undertake the Mark of Mastery exam in order to prepare for the coming return of Master Xehanort. Once told of the threat Master Xehanort poses, Riku does not hesitate to take the exam, seeing it as an opportunity to see whether or not he is worthy of wielding the Keyblade, especially after his past with the darkness. For their exam, Riku and Sora are sent to the Sleeping Worlds, where they are to awaken several worlds that were restored following the defeat of Ansem, but remained in a state of deep sleep. Riku and Sora's journey starts on Destiny Islands, but they soon move on, and end up in Traverse Town, where Riku ends up separated from Sora, but discovers his new attire and abilities. After meeting up with Joshua, Shiki and Beat who tutor him, Riku sets off on his journey alone, venturing across several worlds, meeting new friends and battling new villains. But along the way, Riku comes into conflict several times with a mysterious young man with ties to Master Xehanort, accompanied by Ansem himself, who remind Riku of his past experiences with the darkness and try to get him to succumb again, but Riku refuses, reminding Ansem that he walks the road to dawn. He also encounters Dark Riku, who he believes to be his dark side during his travels. Master Xehanort fills Riku and Mickey in on his past attempt to create the X-Blade by pitting Ventus and Vanitas against each other. The plan failed, but he had a backup. Master Xehanort had young Xehanort create the real Organization 13 made of Master Xehanort himself in 12 vessels to harbor a piece of his heart in order to create 13 darknesses to battle 7 lights and recreate the X-Blade. The 13th vessel was intended to be Riku, but he became unfit as he built a resistance to darkness. The organization then sought to use Roxas, but he became too self-aware and returned to Sora, so now Sora has been chosen to be the last vessel. Riku and Mickey attempt to save Sora from Master Xehanort but are restrained by Ansem and Xemnas before Lee arrives and saves Sora. Ansem summons his dark figure, grabs Riku and Mickey, but the Guardian is defeated by Donald and Goofy, who arrive via Mickey's old star shard. His plans temporarily derailed, Master Xehanort retreats with his organization. Riku brings Sora's comatose body back to the mysterious tower and dives into Sora's heart with the power of waking. In the process, he is forced to battle Sora, clad in Ventus's Keyblade armor, which has been corrupted by a nightmare. Riku defeats the nightmare and uses Sora's Keyblade to enter a memory of the Destiny Islands, deep inside Sora's heart. Here he meets projections of Roxas, Ventus, and Xian, who each ask a question before disappearing. After answering the 3 questions, Riku finds a bottle in the surf, and a data projection of Ansem the Wise approaches him. Ansem tells Riku about Ansem's code, research data contained in the bottle that he had hid inside Sora while he was asleep. He muses about Sora's ability to connect with others' hearts, and how it may be able to bring back those that have been lost. He tells Riku that by defeating the nightmare and answering the 3 questions, he has successfully awakened Sora. Riku returns to the real world, reuniting with Sora and the others, and Yen Sid names Riku as a Keyblade Master. Riku and the other are shocked when Lee vows to catch up with him, reveals his plan of becoming a Keyblade Master, and successfully, albeit accidentally, summons his Keyblade Bond of the. As his first duty as a Keyblade Master, Yen Sid orders Riku to bring Kairi to him to undergo training with her Keyblade in order to counter Master Xehanort's new organization. After bringing Kairi to be trained as a Keyblade wielder, Riku listens to Yen Sid's plans to protect the other princesses of Heart and to bring back Terra, Aqua and Ventus. Mickey reveals to Riku that Aqua was with him back when they sealed the door to darkness, but she stayed behind to stop a swarm of Heartless which were chasing Riku. Outraged by the story, Riku demands to know why Mickey kept this secret, but Yen Sid explains that because no one was capable of entering the realm of darkness and saving Aqua at the time, he forbade Mickey from ever telling anyone about Aqua as precaution against reckless rescue attempts. While Riku would have understood the danger of such an action, Sora would have cast caution to the wind and jumped at the chance to help. However, now they are both strong enough to mount a successful attempt, and when Kairi teases Riku for his eagerness, he explains how he is learning to follow his heart like Sora. When Kairi shows anxiety at training with Lee, Axel's human form, Mickey and Riku reassure her that he is trustworthy and he even saved Sora. Yen Sid provides Mickey and Riku new clothes from Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather which will shield them from the Dark Realm's darkness, so Riku and Mickey head off to save Aqua, with their new gear in tow. Riku and King Mickey enter the Dark World in search of Aqua, losing her trail at the Dark Margin. A demon tower attacks and swallows Riku. After drowning in its darkness, Riku is saved by his replica's disembodied heart. His Keyblade is broken after the battle and Mickey convinces him to regroup and resupply. Before leaving, Riku plants his broken Keyblade on the beach for the Riku replica to collect. At the mysterious tower, Riku and Mickey are instructed by Yen Sid to search for Aqua in the worlds she had visited. After receiving the brave heart from Merlin, Riku travels with Mickey to Radiant Garden, the last place Aqua visited. They discuss Xehanort's plans, realizing that when Aqua saved Terra, he was possessed by Xehanort. After meeting Lenzo and discussing the replica project, Riku concludes the organization is planning to use replicas due to Even's disappearance. With no new leads, Riku and Mickey travel back to the Dark Margin. Attacked again by a demon tower, Mickey is disarmed and trapped within it. Auntie Aqua reveals herself and takes Mickey's Keyblade, planning to use it to the escape. Riku declines his replica's offer to return his Keyblade before facing Aqua and the Heartless. Faltering, he speaks Sora's name. Sora then arrives to Riku's aid before freeing Aqua from the darkness. After preparing for the final battle at Yen Sid's tower with the completed 7 Guardians of Light, Riku accompanies Sora and Kairi to Destiny Islands where he converses alone with his replica, who states he has one last thing to do. The next day, Riku joins the other Guardians in the Keyblade Graveyard, where Terra Xehanort attacks, critically injuring several Guardians before being ejected from the battlefield. A massive demon tide soon appears, devouring all the Guardians, except Sora and Riku. When Sora breaks down in despair, Riku sacrifices himself for Sora's sake, putting his faith in Sora to save all of their friends. The next day, Riku joins the other Guardians in the Keyblade Graveyard, where Terra Xehanort attacks, critically injuring several Guardians before being ejected from the battlefield. A massive demon tide soon appears, devouring all the Guardians, except Sora and Riku. When Sora breaks down in despair, Riku sacrifices himself for Sora's sake, putting his faith in Sora to save all of their friends. Riku's heart makes its way to the final world's facsimile of Olympus, where it is captured by a lich before being freed and returned to the Keyblade Graveyard by a newly restored Sora. When Sora frees the rest of his friends' hearts, they reappear together, moments before Terra Xehanort first appeared. This time, they are rescued by the Lingering Wool, allowing Riku and the others to fight off the incoming Heartless while Sora, Donald, and Goofy defeat the Demon Tide. Finally, they advance to face the organization within the Skein of Severance. Riku battles Dark Riku, Xigbar, and Ansem alone. When Sora joins the battle, Ansem leaves. Upon Dark Riku's defeat, the Riku replica reveals Dark Riku as his past self and removes Dark Riku's heart from his body, leaving the vessel behind for Namine. After Xigbar's defeat, Sora leaves to assist the other Guardians, and Demix arrives to retrieve Dark Riku's vessel on Lenzo's orders while Riku tells him to handle it with great care. Riku then meets Sora and Mickey again after 9 Seekers of Darkness have been defeated. Ansem, Xemnas, Master Xehanort, and his younger self remain, and Master Xehanort reveals that their 4 clashes would forge the final keys he needed to form the X-Blade. Riku claims that even if Master Xehanort manages to open Kingdom Hearts, they would simply close it again. The 2 groups clash, and all but Master Xehanort are eliminated. As Ansem fades away, he and Riku reminisce on the journey they shared. With 1 key left to forge, Xehanort reveals the kidnapped Kairi and slays her in front of them. Riku and Mickey are then frozen by a Stopsa spell, and Xehanort summons Kingdom Hearts. The other Guardians arrive as the spell wears off, and Riku presents the idea of using Xehanort as a portal and trapping him in it long enough to finish him. When Sora, Donald, and Goofy go to fight Xehanort, Riku joins the other Keyblade wielders in holding off the power of Kingdom Hearts. Once Xehanort is defeated, Riku and the others follow their hearts to Sora. They lend their power to Sora as he uses the X-Blade to seal Kingdom Hearts away. Returning to the Keyblade graveyard, Sora decides to use the power of waking to rescue Kairi. Though Mickey tries to argue, Riku convinces him to let Sora follow his heart. Sometime later, Riku takes Sora's gummy ship to Radiant Garden to collect Namine, and returns with her to Destiny Islands along with all the Guardians and their friends. He runs a race with Terra and Roxas before looking toward the Paupu tree where Kairi sits with the fading image of Sora. Riku begins having a strange dream where he wakes up in Quadratum. Disoriented, he walks the streets observing where he is, eventually finding himself at a large building, unaware that Yuzora watches him from atop. Since Sora vanished, Riku and all his allies have been searching wherever they can think of, lasting well over a year with no results. After seeing Terra, Aqua, and Ventus leave to search the Dark World, Riku visits the Radiant Garden Restoration Committee in the hopes they have any clues. Informing them that the King's group has had no luck in searching past worlds Sora's been to and that Ansem the Wise has not been able to find a lead in Kairi's dreams, Riku gains a sliver of hope and data on the organization Sid compiled on his computer. Despite breaking through the powerful data, there is no additional information. However, the arrival of Fairy Godmother changes the mood. Riku reveals his dream of looking for Sora, being told that there might be a lead in his dreams and those of 2 others. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Afterwards, Riku reunites with Ansem the Wise and his apprentices to find that Kairi has awakened. The 2 share their findings and with Fairy Godmother's help, she refers to him and Kairi as 2 of the 3 keys that can help find Sora. The Keyblade wielders are brought to the final world, where they meet the 3rd key, the nameless star, informing her what has happened. The star recognizes the city Riku described as Quadratum. With that, he uses the power of awaking in the nameless star as a portal to go to Quadratum, leaving Kairi to tell the others where he had gone. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Riku appears in the Central Clock, 2 o'clock, and 4 o'clock stations in the Dive to the Heart sections of the Hollow Bastion stage, as an obtainable spirit in Sora's Spirit Board, and is represented by Karin in Spirit Battle. Riku is 5 years old during Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, 15 during the events of Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, 16 during the events of Kingdom Hearts 358 Halves Days in Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance. Riku is currently 17 after a year following Xehanort's death and Sora's disappearance in Kingdom Hearts 3. Riku is a teenage boy with silver hair with bangs, pale skin, bright blue-green eyes, green in Kingdom Hearts 3, and a muscular build. Since he is a year older than Sora and Kairi, Riku is the tallest of the trio. Riku's hair was originally shoulder length, but in Kingdom Hearts 358 Halves Days and Kingdom Hearts 2, his hair has grown longer until it reaches his upper back. Sometime before Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, he cut it short to the length it was when he was a child. Much like Sora, while his general appearance does not change much throughout the series, Riku receives several costumes and form changes during the course of his adventures. In Kingdom Hearts, Riku is a calm, cool, collected teenager who is not afraid to go beyond his limits. He showed no fear in stepping into the dark portal when Destiny Islands was being consumed by darkness. He seemed to be aware of Sora's romantic feelings toward Kairi, and enjoyed teasing him about it, such as challenging Sora to a race, and saying that if he wins, he gets to share a Palpu fruit with her, purely to get a reaction out of Sora. This also exemplifies his competitive nature. Riku became thoroughly jealous of Sora after learning about his possession of the Keyblade and of his new friends. He even openly accused Sora of forgetting about him and Kairi since he was not also actively looking for a way to retrieve Kairi's heart. That envy eventually corrupted his perspective of their friendship into a rivalry, much to Sora's confusion, and resulted in his battles with Sora and his eventual possession by Ansem, Seeker of Darkness.